Good morning, everyone. Firstly, thank you very much to the Federation for inviting me to participate in this conference. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there in person, but I wanted to send a message emphasising this government's commitment to tackling retail crime. This is an area we are doing a lot of work in, and I'll come on to some of the detail of that shortly. But there are a couple of core principles underpinning our approach that are worth flagging up front. Firstly, shop theft is a crime without exception. Regardless of the circumstances or the value involved, theft is theft and offenders should expect to be held accountable. And secondly, there must be zero tolerance of abuse or violence against retail staff who have every right to feel safe at work. The statistics are stark. Police recorded crime figures show that theft continues to increase, having risen 20% in the year to December 2024 compared with the previous year. While charge rates have also increased, significant gaps remain, particularly when contrasted with trade organisations' data indicating that violence and abuse continue to be underreported. According to the British Retail Consortium Crime Survey 2025, there were around 737,000 incidents of violence and abuse in 23-24. Data from the Association of Convenience Stores and Usstore reports also highlights troubling increases. And as I've said, shop theft is a crime regardless of the value involved. It is not victimless. For small businesses, the financial impact can be severe, even devastating. And there are also broader societal implications. When crimes like shop theft go unchecked, they can escalate, creating a climate of lawlessness in which criminals benefit and law-abiding people suffer. The retail sector, we all know, is essential to our economy and our communities. That is true all the time, but it was especially apparent in the pandemic, when shops carried on serving the public while much of the rest of society shut down. And as we saw during that crisis, retail relies on its workforce. The staff who work hard day in and day out deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. It is unacceptable that so many continue to face abuse, threats or violence. There is the physical, psychological and emotional impact on the victims, as well as the knock-on effect for their colleagues who worry that they could be next. For too long, the response to these crimes has been weak and ineffective. This government is committed to changing that. As part of the Prime Minister's plan for change, we have embarked on an extensive Safer Streets mission, which includes stronger action on retail crime. We've introduced the Crime and Policing Bill, a major piece of legislation aimed at strengthening our response to key public safety challenges. While legislation alone cannot solve every issue, where new powers are needed to protect our communities, we have a responsibility to act, and we will. The bill is a broad one, but two of its measures are worth highlighting to this audience. Firstly, we're acting to rectify an issue that I know has been a source of concern and frustration for retailers for some time. Section 176 of the Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act 2014 created the perception that offenders and would-be offenders could get away with shop theft of goods of or and under £200. That is, of course, not the case. So we are repealing the relevant provisions relating to that low-value shoplifting, while sending a clear message that any level of shop theft is illegal. Secondly, the bill demonstrates our commitment to protecting staff by introducing a new offence of assaulting a retail worker. Both of these steps have long been called for, and we are pleased to make them a reality through the bill. The legislation is still progressing through Parliament, and once the new measures are in place, the key thing will be making sure they lead to real tangible improvements for retailers and their staff. We will of course continue engaging with the sector on the bill and related matters. I now want to turn to the police response to retail crime. Forces made a number of operational commitments in the Retail Crime Action Plan of October 2023. including undertaking to prioritise attending an incident where violence has been used towards shop staff, where an offender has been detained by store security, and where evidence needs to be secured by police personnel. There are signs that this is having a positive impact, which is really welcome, but we need to keep up the momentum. So for the government's part, we will continue emphasising the importance of a robust and effective response to retail crime through the Retail Crime Forum, which I chair, and the last meeting of which took place in May. We've also placed a very strong emphasis on rebuilding neighbourhood policing, which has been badly eroded in recent years. It is impossible to overstate the significance of frequent patrols and a visible officer presence in and around town centres and high streets. These are the basics, and we have to get them right. As part of the Safer Streets mission, we have introduced a neighbourhood policing guarantee, which will set out what communities can expect from their local force. Ultimately, we're aiming to get 13,000 additional police officers, PCSOs and special constables into neighbourhood roles, with £200 million available for forces to kickstart this growth in the current financial year. Another key part of the guarantee is to make sure everyone has a named officer that they can contact about local problems. And the neighbourhood policing response to antisocial behaviour will also be bolstered, including through new respect orders to stop persistent adult offenders engaging in harmful ASB. On top of that, we are investing in initiatives designed to tackle retail crime, such as £5 million over the next 3 years to continue to fund a specialist analysis team within OPAL, the National Policing Intelligence Unit, for serious organised acquisitive crime, and £2 million over the next 3 years for the National Business Crime Centre. I also want to mention Pegasus, which is a unique private-public partnership comprising national retailers and OPAL. It analyses data which retailers provide and develops intelligence packages for the police to use to inform their approach to the policing of retail crime in their local area. This work is jointly funded by the Home Office, 14 of the UK's largest retailers, and the National Business Crime Centre. And since Pegasus went live in May last year, there have been more than 140 arrests and, more significantly, a 50% reduction in offending from organised crime groups identified. These results underline what can be achieved when partners work together. And on that note, I will finish by saying a very big thank you to everyone for your efforts. As I've said, retail crime is a serious problem, and this government is serious about addressing it. That is our shared task, and I look forward to working with you all as we strive to make our shops, high streets and town centres safer. Thank you.